Well, Assalamu alaikum. Very happy afternoon, and it's my pleasure to present a webinar on PTE. It's an important course for the students, those who are looking for admission in Australia and as well as UK. And let me introduce you a little bit about the course. How does it work, and what is the difference between PTE and IELTS? Well, in IELTS there are 4 skills, of course: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. But their marks are not integrated. Like if you are good at speaking, so of course you can score good marks, and if you are some way you couldn't perform well in reading, so it can affect your overall grade. But in PT the marks are integrated, and like you can score. You can improve your grades, like working on different parts and different tasks given in the different skills. So that's why PT is getting popularity all over the Pakistan, and in coming years we are sure that more and more students could get benefit of it. And while introducing to the main course, let me show you what is the rubric and marking scheme and the marks allocation in PTE. So let me share a sheet with you, and you can then see that how are the marks distributed. Okay, look at the screen. So I'm sharing a sheet with you that is showing how the marks are integrated between the skills. Okay. On the left corner, we could see speaking is the first part. So we got 4 main tasks in there: read aloud, repeat sentence, describe images, and read a lecture. So read aloud, there are, you can say 2 to 3 sentences, sometimes 4 sentences are in that paragraph. And it's simple, it's only occasionally there are difficult words inside. So what are you supposed to do in reading aloud? That you will read a paragraph and you should take care about your monotone and try to be as natural as you are, because this test is not for the native speakers. Of course, this is for the non-native. So don't care about your accent. Accent score, no marks here over there, right? So you have to be loud and clear and try to concentrate on your pronunciation. That is important. And so there will be 6 to 7 small paragraphs, and they got 22 marks, like in speaking. And out of 22, how much you will get, they are going to be scored in reading as well. So we see, for example, in this test, in this read aloud activity, if you are going to get around 18 marks in speaking, then out of 22 in the reading part also you are getting 18 marks. So this is called integration. Like one skill you are working on, and on your performance you are getting marks, you are awarded marks in the other skill also. Next is repeat sentence. Well, you are going to listen around 11 to 12 sentences, and with the level of difficulty is there, but you need to repeat them spontaneously. Listen the sentence carefully, and then within 3 to 4 seconds, then you have to repeat the same sentence. Again, accent is not counted over here. How many words and are you repeating in the correct way? So here your fluency is important. Of course, accuracy is also demanded, but fluency is more important, that you are able to repeat sentence in the same way, in your own natural way of speaking. And At the same time, we see in the listening, we got 20 marks when we are doing repeating sentences. And the listening part, you are also, you will be awarded like marks out of 70. Say, for example, if repeat sentence, you would get 27 out of 32. So on the same ratio, you are going to get marks in the listening as well. Then we'll move on to the next skill in speaking, that is describing image. So this task is important. There are so many websites there, those who are giving you guidance on how to describe the images. So what I suggest you should prefer only the registered websites, those who are from registered academies, so they can provide you the right guidance. So describe image is not at all difficult. It is something you see how to describe that image in and the data given over there. So 6 to 7 images. Images could be of some building, could be from some pie charts or bar charts, or some reports or charts could be there. So out of 22, you are, say for example, you are getting here, if I say 16, so there's no, so this marks is only for describing, there no marks is awarded in any other skill. Now, retail lecture is very important. It's again for, there will be three to four lectures. And the thing which is important for retail lecture is that you are supposed to note down the key points, keywords in the lecture. You have no need to describe the whole lecture in your own words. Try to note down as much as key points you could. And one thing which is important, that in the retail lectures, economic factor is very important. Like recordings are mostly on the economic benefits or advantages or disadvantages for some reasons. So you need to link the keywords in your own words when you describe. You should give it an economic touch. Sometimes it takes the social touch also. And we'll give the example further when we'll proceed to that section. So when you will finish this 12 marks, say about if you get 10 out of it, and then on the other side, in listening part, we are also getting the same sequence with the same percentage, that is 8 marks, for example. The last one is short answers. So these answers are from your daily life experience or activities or your informations, and they are not at all difficult. So in speaking, they got 2 marks, but in listening, they got 6 marks. So the purpose of these questions are, could you understand the answer? Could you understand the question? Could you understand the theme? Or you are near answer. Sometimes there is not fixed one answer, and if you are near with that answer, so you can go and score marks. If you are getting 4 out of it, and over here, if you get 1, let's see, make the marks as average. Now, speaking part is very important. If speaking part is not done well, it can affect on all the skills, because particularly it is of 90 marks, but it is sharing 56 marks with the other skills. So when speaking is finished, it means 146 marks paper is done. So take it serious and try to perform well. And now let me move on to the next point, that is writing part. Summarize the written text. 2 to 3 texts will be there, and in writing you will get 10 out of, and then reading you will get any marks you are getting over here, the same marks you are going to get in reading as well. And essay is not very important, but it is. So you need to write as much good as you could. So there are also many templates available online on net. So, but if you want to write yourself, so that there are techniques which we are going to discuss today, and you can perform very well. But writing using templates could be dangerous because sometimes you don't understand which part of the template is important and how you're going to mold your information and get them fit into the template. So the student make major mistakes in that part, and they lose marks then. Then we'll move over to the reading part. The reading part is considered as one of the toughest part of PTE. But again, if we see the reading, it's only 49 marks, which is specific for the reading skills. And other marks we are getting from the other skills, like 22 and 10, 32, and 9, 41, 43. So 43 marks out of 93 we are getting from the other skills other than reading part. In reading, MCQ single answers, they are having one score and there will be two tasks, 0.5 scoring each. MCQs, multiple choice answers. So be careful over here because they got negative marking. So if you are going to put a wrong mark, so you will lose marks. They're not only zero, you'll get 1 or 0. No, you will lose your marks and -1 will be there for every wrong response. Then reorder paragraph. Again, okay, it's important exercise, but it's not difficult. We will discuss some of the important points. How could you select, or what is the criteria if that is in your mind, so there will be minimum chances of making mistake in this part. So here the part marks are like in the right sequence or arranging the sentences into the right pattern. If the sequence is correct anywhere, like for example, you are having A, B, C, D, E. So any two portions which are in the correct sequence will give you 2 marks. I will later on explain you how does it work. Then move on to the fill in the blank exercise. That is important. And if student they don't perform well over here, so their grades could go down. In the fill in the blanks part, your grammar skills are being checked. So like if you are well acquainted with grammar rules, especially use of verb and prepositions, as well as active voice, passive voice, and present and past tenses. So this part is is good for you to score good marks. So revise your grammar skills, so that would help you to get through this part successfully. Then comes reading and writing fill in the blanks. In writing, it got 22 marks, and reading it got 22 marks again. So it is 44 marks exercise. So really it's important. So in reading and writing fill in the blanks, the main thing is the context. Like there will be 5 to 6 paragraphs, and there will be contextual vocabularies will be there. So every blank got 4 options. So you need to select the right option. And the main thing is to read the sentence before the blank and after blank. So it will give you a sense. First of all, not all the time they are using difficult vocabulary. So you will see most of the words which are given in choice, they are from your working vocabulary, or they are in your vocabulary. Sometimes, and don't do hurry. Sometimes there are 2 possible answers and you think they can work. But then read the sentence again before the blank and after the blank, and just try to understand. For example, if there is a word using ago and later, so you could make a mistake. what is a meaning of ago and what is meaning of later. So both things you know very well, but if you read the sentence carefully, then one will get fit accurately there. So that is how you go through your vocabulary. And so these all paragraphs are on particular topics. Let's say, for example, one paragraph is talking about Eiffel Tower. So all the vocabulary and the context will be about the same topic. So that is how these paragraphs need the contextual vocabulary, and you can select the right option. Be careful, don't do hurry in it. So in reading section, some exercises like multiple choice, MCQs, they got, I told you, they got negative marking. So it's better if you could skip those exercises because it will drain a lot of time. And you need to save time for the last exercises. They really need concentration and careful reading. So if you pay more time on MCQs, multiple choice, so you could run in short time about the last exercises. Let's move to the last skill, that is called listening. First part is summarize the spoken text. Summarize the spoken text. These texts are usually not very difficult. Again, the same strategy, like you need to write down some keywords. And what is the main idea of these listening texts? That usually social factor is being discussed. So you can start, for example, the main topic of the lecture was about the problems of primary teaching. Say, for example, if it is about primary teaching, then the speaker highlighted some advantages and disadvantages in this, regarding this field. So go about, talk about some advantages and disadvantages through a social factor. Highlight the social factor, that if it affects students' learning or it enhances the students' learning. So adding one sentence only about all your keywords can give you very good grades, very good marks. Then comes fill in the blanks, MCQs, multiple choice. Well, in the listening part, the first 3 tasks will finish in 30 minutes and you'll be left behind with 28 minutes with 17 questions. So altogether, you have 28 minutes for 17 tasks. So do not waste time. And until the listening recording is going on, so your time will not be calculated. Time will start when your response time will start. Then clock is going to calculate the time. So for the tasks which are not important, do not waste time over there. You can listen and you can tick one choice if you like, if you think it's good. Again, here MCQs, multiple choice questions, they got negative marking again. If you are 110% sure that it's correct, then you can select one only, then move to the other one. Or if you skip it, so you can save your time as well as your marks. Then goes into move toward the fill in the blanks, and they are for 7 marks in writing and 7 marks in listening. So it will be kind of fill in the blank exercise. There will be a dialogue between could be teacher and student or any 2 participants. So you need to listen their conversation carefully and write your answers. So do not write the answer directly. Try to type it into the using your keypad. First of all, write them on your notebook, because sometimes paragraphs blanks are very close to each other, and you could miss any other blank if you start typing. So better write them in your shorthand, but that shorthand you should develop yourself, that you feel comfortable with it, so you should go about it. And then later on type them. Be careful, your spelling mistakes can make you lose marks. So spelling are checked, because computer will not going to recognize any word which will be wrong spelled. So be careful in the fill in the blank part. Then there are 3 tasks: highlight, correct summary, MCQs, single answers, and selecting missing words. All these 3, you will be having little time to respond. For your response, like 5 to 10 seconds, just take one and move to the next part. Because their value, actual value is, they are not that much worth, or don't have that much worth that you should spend more time in thinking and then selecting. So now we are moving toward the second last task of listening, that is highlight incorrect words. Well, it is interesting and very important because it is giving you 17 marks in the listening part, 9 marks in reading and 8 marks in listening again. So you need support in reading. So do not miss or do care. You show your carelessness in the task where they're supporting the reading section. So you will, and one thing more that is important than in highlight in correct words task, there is negative marking. If you miss a letter which is being, which is not correctly pronounced, which is, or another word is being spoken instead of that word, so you will lose marks, and that will be a negative mark. So if you listen carefully, move your cursor quickly, and concentrate on the words, what the speaker is saying. So this exercise is not difficult. Then we are moving toward the last task, that is called the listening task, writing from the dictation. That is called the king of listening because sometimes it got overall 50 marks. 27 to 30 marks in writing and 20 marks in listening. So there will be 3 sentences. You have time to respond on them one by one. When you will hear a sentence, write it on your notebook, and then after that, you need to type it in the box given. Be careful about the speaker can be somewhere like in their speaking or using reading the sentence or saying the sentence rather, they can go sometimes unstressed. So especially the word where, war, wa, and where, yani where, instead of where they say where, or instead of saying war they say were. Students were in the class. There were so many people. So were, remember, instead of saying were. And instead of saying were, they say where. So when you will be doing practice, so concentrate on this one. And one more thing, they use usually word its, it, apostrophe s. So if you are not writing in the same way, so it will be considered as wrong. And your dictation should be started with the first letter capital. Be careful about the spelling inside also. So it's a hot cake exercise. So repeat sentence and this exercise, they got one thing common, that you need to write the sentence or you need to repeat the sentence. In repeating sentence, you are speaking it spontaneously, and writing you have time. But the skill which are used there, you can use the same skill over here. So this is how this is all little information about how is the integrated marking or marks are in PTE skills. So let's move towards some of the practical part of it. Let me go through some of the questions. If you like, you can, at the end of this session, you can ask questions if you like. Let me go back to the main test. So this is PTE academic, right from the right pattern and the right way. All the skills which are being tested, all the items which are being tested, they are here in their practice form. All right. So this is a speaking part, read aloud activity. You will be given 35 seconds and you could read it yourself and see if some difficult word is there. Just practice it, how to pronounce it. And then when there will be a beep, it will start your recording. So you have to read aloud then. So do not repeat if any mistake is done. You're not supposed to stop and repeat it, okay? So yes, after this beep, you need to record your reading. So there will be 6 tasks like this. The important point in this is do not try to change your accent. Again, there are no marks for accent. You should be as natural with your accent as it is. But you should be fluent and a bit loud, okay? Especially when there are more students in the examination room with you. Some students, they complain that their listening part, they lost marks in the listening part, even they have done a very good preparation. The problem is only that it could happen that there are more students in the exam room, and because all the tasks they start simultaneously, so they start, if they are reading loudly, so it can affect your recording as well. So use one higher tone more than normal what you are using. That is only to accommodate yourself in that situation. Okay, so there will be 6 to 7 tasks like that. If you let me read one paragraph for you. So we will be given 34 seconds, sorry, 35 seconds in which we are going to go about all the words which are there, just like devastation, cause, threatened, future, country, Botswana, infection, international donors launched, ambitious national campaign provided antiviral. So you can go through the words which looks little difficult. So go through once, okay? Now, although Botswana's economic outlook remains strong, the devastation that it has caused threatened to destroy the country's future. In 2001, Botswana had the highest rate of HIV infection in the world. With the help of international donors, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provided free antiviral drugs to anyone who needed them. And by March 2004, Botswana's infection rate had dropped significantly. Now, you see here this one word I use, ambiguous. It is ambitious. So if you realize one word has gone wrong, do not stop yourself and come back on that point. You do not try to correct in between. Like if you want to say again, it launched an ambitious national campaign that provided free antiviral drug. If you know some word is pronounced in a wrong way, do not go back on that word. Keep your fluency and finish the task. All right, so this is how we are dealing with the read aloud activity. So let me go to the next part. So it is the repeat sentence.
Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture.
So Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture. So there are different ways you can listen and you can retain the words in your mind and you can repeat the sentence. Or there is also a way that you can write the first letters, 5, 6 letters in the beginning, and the rest of the part you can retain in your mind and you can repeat the full sentence. So different strategies work with different students. So students sometimes they get panicked if they make mistake with one sentence and they think that they are losing. So why are these? There are 12 sentences. That if you make mistake in one time, do not lose heart. Just keep trying your best. Your initial part and the last part. What is the best strategy? It should be as correct as it is. And in between, if there is a mistake, again, do not stop and try to rectify that mistake or correct that mistake. So once you have said something wrong, then okay, go with it, no problem. Listen the next sentence carefully. So some students, they are capable to retain the whole sentence and they could repeat the whole sentence. You should be a little bit loud, clear, and try to be fluent, like immediately. This is your spontaneous response, actually. Let me play one more sentence for you.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor. Okay, so you need to wait 2 to 3 seconds until the box they start getting blue, then you can repeat the sentence. So there are a lot of online practice in which you could see the words also, the transcript of the sentence as well. So use headphone when you do practice and try to write as much, try to speak as much words as you can clearly. So again, what is the important point over there? That do not repeat if some mistake is there. The start of sentence and the end of sentence, if it is fine. In between, if there are some words you have skipped, so go about it. Fluency is more important. If you are accurate, then wonderful, but you should be fluent, quickly respond on that answer. So there will be 10 to 12 sentences like that, and now we are moving toward images. So I'll describe, I'll look at this describing image. Well, there are so many issues with the students about describing image. Like, it's a beautiful image, there are trends, different trends are shown in it, like this and that, colors, this color, that color is being used. Please do not go follow these kind of things. What is the natural way? Spanish-speaking countries by population, a comparison is given among 8 countries and population data is given in millions from 0 to 100. The graph illustrates that Mexico has the highest number of people speaking Spanish, that is around 84 million. And on the other hand, we see Chile is showing the lowest amount of population speaking Spanish, while Peru, Venezuela, and United States are around 20 million people, and Argentina and Colombia, they are showing around 36 million people speaking Spanish. You see, the box has reached up to the limit, the time is finished. It is not necessary that you are supposed to speak for 40 seconds. If you think the important things are done in 35 seconds, 30 seconds, so it's okay, right? But you should keep on speaking, and what you see, what is given. So data should be quoted with all the information, just like I did. Mexico has shown around 84 million people speaking Spanish, and Chile is showing like that. All right, move to the next one. Okay, look at this image. Sometimes images are without caption. Nothing is given, nothing is written over there, and you have to speak about buildings, and there could be some skyscrapers or a market, or it could be a countryside or a mountainous scene. So Let's see how we are going to handle this picture. Well, the picture shows a skyscraper, a multi-story building, which is broad at the base, and as we go toward the top, it gets narrow. Glasses we use on all sides of the building, which is giving it an elegant look. And in the reflection of the building, we could see another skyscraper somewhere in front of it. And next to building, we could see some old buildings with a building with the red top could be seen. And the entrance of the skyscraper is not clear. So in the background, we could see blue sky and white clouds are there. So it's a beautiful blend of architecture and art. So this is how we handle these kind of images where no caption is given. You have to describe the image, speak about how does it look like, its shape, its design, what is in the background. Like there are no trees in the background, but don't try to highlight which is not seen in the background. The thing which is related to this building, and background is clear, that blue sky and white clouds are there. Next to the skyscraper, there are some old buildings. So this is how you are describing the image. All right, let's have another, okay, let's speak about this image also. So you will be given 25 seconds, look at here. And that 25 seconds, you need to see the picture, this graph or chart carefully or graph carefully. Now, look at the caption. Look at the things which are being used inside. Okay, then you have to speak for 40 seconds. So the graph shows mode of travel to university for second-year students, and total respondents were 100. 60 students out of 100, they said they traveled by train, and 30 students out of 100, they responded that they traveled by car. And 10 students, sometimes they travel by train and sometimes they travel by car. So overall, this graph shows that maximum number of students, those who could travel to university, that is by train, there is 70. So this is how we are going to use the data and information which is given in the graph. Now I'll move toward the retail lecture.
The Human Development Index, HDI, published annually by the UN, ranks nations according to their citizens' quality of life rather than strictly by a nation's traditional economic figures. The criteria for calculating rankings include life expectancy, educational attainment, and adjusted real income. The most livable countries in 2006 were Norway, Iceland, Australia, Ireland, and Sweden.
Okay, so in this type of listening, you are going to note down the key points, just like the key points are HDI, United Nations criteria, not economic, on social aspect. And the key point he highlighted that the quality of life, life expectancy, educational attainment, as well as justified income. So these were the criteria on which these countries were selected, and they were considered as the most developed countries of 2006, Norway, Iceland, and Australia. So what you're supposed to do, that if you note down the point, so use those points with the caption, and you can keep your sentence as simple as you like, but give it a social or economic touch that it can, because you are saying in your own words, so that's why it's important to change the sentences as you have listened, right? Okay, let me share another recording with you. Okay, especially this kind of recording in which you don't get much material, or they are difficult, or you can listen it, but you don't know which part is important. So keep listening until the end comes. Remember one thing, these kind of listings, which are usually in the retail lecture, they have some economic aspect. So if you get some key points, use those economic aspects to complete your task. Okay, I'll replay it now. You can listen it with me. And if you are able to
More than 1 billion people and about
if you are able to note down the point, please grab a pen and
There once
paper.
was a time in American
So
history.
here we are going to play it again. So
More than 1 billion people in about 70 countries around the world observe Daylight Saving Time, DST, in some form. Here are interesting facts about some of these countries. Most of Canada uses Daylight Saving Time. Some exceptions include the majority of Saskatchewan and parts of northeastern British Columbia. In the fall of 2005, Manitoba and Ontario announced that, like the United States, they would extend daylight time starting in 2007. The Attorney General of Ontario commented that it is important to maintain Ontario's competitive advantage by coordinating time changes with our major trading partner and harmonising our financial, industrial, transportation and communications links. Other provinces have indicated that they may also follow suit. It wasn't until 1996 that our NAFTA neighbours in Mexico adopted DST. Now all 3 Mexican time zones are on the same schedule as the United States.
So in this type of recording, we can see there is a little stuff for us to catch, or for an average student. Sometimes they don't understand what to write. So the things we should very clear about, that 1 billion people in 70 countries, they are following DST. And he has explained this term, what is DST means. It is daylight saving time. Now, he used the name of Canada, he used the name of USA, as well as he's used the word trading partners in finance, industry, transportation, and communication links. So now, how we are going to give it an economic touch? Look, the topic of the lecture was DST. The speaker emphasized the importance of daylight saving time, and he said that more than 1 billion people and 70 countries are following DST, because following DST can help them to improve their economic condition. So USA started following DST in 1996, and Canada was a bit late, but in 2007, all of 3 its time zones, they started following DST. And now Canada's the best trading partner with them is USA, so they are getting benefit in finance, industry, transportation, and communication. So this is how the countries are getting benefit of DST. The lecture was having crucial information. So this is all, and the work is done. Get the main point, highlight it, and give it an economic touch in your own words, right? So that is how the first part is done. And let me go on the last, there are simple short questions.
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
A psychologist, right? So these are questions which are from your daily life experience. So they are easy. Let me just make you listen 1 or 2 more.
How would most people travel to work each day in big cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, and New York?
Okay. Using metro.
Would a supermarket, a cafe, or a bookstore probably have the widest range of products available?
Supermarket. Okay. So this is how the answers are not very difficult. You have to listen carefully, and your response should be spontaneous. Think about and quickly analyze and give the answer. So this is how our listening part is done. So if you have any queries, so you can ask at the end of the lesson. Okay, now I will move toward the second part, that is about the writing task. And I've given you some information on the writing task as well. So I think this is time for question answers. You got our email, and you please feel free in contacting us if there is some question and your queries. So you see, we provide over here IELTS, TOEFL, and OET preparation classes. That is OET, maybe is a new term for you. It is occupational English training. Here we are dealing with the healthcare unit at this moment, like doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and dentists, those who are applying to get job in other countries. So we give them preparatory classes over here, and Alhamdulillah, a lot of them are proceeding abroad to get good jobs. So we are also providing TOEFL classes as well. We are the official TOEFL examination center, as now we have got also permission for PTE testing center. So we are here with all the things we could do for you. Your academic solutions are there, especially when you want to proceed abroad, in the form of pass your PTE exam, IELTS exam, TOEFL exam, and OET preparations. So, if you feel free in asking questions, if there are some queries, I would love to give you answers. What kind of questions? Wait, can I get a